You wake up before the sun. The mountain air is thin, biting, and smells like damp earth and cold sweat. Your hands are already cramping, the skin cracked and stained a permanent bruised purple. The estate bell rings. It sounds like a death knell, but it just means it is 4 a.m. If you stay on your straw mat for 1 more minute, the overseer's cane will find your ribs. If you slow down on the slopes today, you do not eat tonight. It is that simple. You are born into this damp green hell. The year is 1888. The place is a misty, unforgiving mountain slope in Central America. You do not choose your profession. You do not choose your future. You are born with a ledger already attached to your name. Your father owed the plantation owner 50 pesos at the company store, and the moment his lungs gave out from the cold, that debt transferred to you. Congratulations. You're 7 years old and you are officially property of the coffee baron. You think paying it off will help you escape. It will not. The math is designed for you to lose. The company store is a miracle of colonial accounting. The interest on your debt grows faster than the crops. Level 1. The dirt. Your career begins in the soil. You are a picker. The canopy above you blocks out the sky, trapping the heavy humidity and the swarms of biting midges. Your job is simple. Strip the ripe red coffee cherries from the branches. Drop them in the basket tied around your waist. Repeat until you die. Day 1. You think you can outpace the quota. You move fast. But the coffee tree is a hostile thing. The branches whip your face, leaving thin red scratches that sting when you sweat. Hidden beneath the glossy green leaves are wolf spiders the size of your hand and fire ants that rain down on your neck. Their bites turn your skin into a landscape of fiery welts. You brush them off and keep picking. You have to. You're required to pick 100 pounds of cherries a day, every single day. Week 3, the reality sets in. Your fingernails are peeled back from constantly prying the tough fruit from the stems. The basket digs a raw, bleeding trench into your hips. You work on a 45-degree incline, your bare toes digging into the slick mud just to keep from sliding down the mountain. When it rains, and it always rains, the slope turns into a slip and slide of jagged rocks and broken branches. You watch a man snap his ankle tumbling down the ravine. The overseer does not call a doctor. He deducts the lost basket of coffee from the man's wages. That is the good news. The bad news is, the injured man is now useless, so his family will starve. Level 2. The wet mill year 5. You survived the slopes. Barely. Your reward for not dying of exposure or a spider bite is a promotion to the beneficio, the processing mill. You think this is a step up because you're finally out of the rain. You are an idiot. You are now a washer. Here, the coffee cherries are dumped into massive stone vats to rot. That is what fermentation is. Controlled rotting. The smell hits you before you even see the building. It is a suffocating stench of decaying fruit, vinegar, and stagnant water. Your new job is to stand waist-deep in freezing, filthy water, using a heavy wooden rake to churn thousands of pounds of fermenting beans. Your skin quickly turns grey and prune-like. The acidic sludge eats away at the calluses you built up in the fields. Your feet are constantly submerged, inviting fungal infections that make your toenails fall off one by one. You do not get a break to dry out. The water is drawn straight from the glacial mountain streams, sending constant bone-rattling chills up your spine. You sleep shivering. You wake up shivering, but you push through. You learn the precise texture the beans need to have, the exact moment the sticky mucilage breaks down. The master notices. He likes a worker who does not complain when his skin is literally dissolving off his legs. Level 3. The Muleteer. Year 12. You are pulled from the vats. You are given a thick wool poncho, a leather whip, and control of 5 stubborn mules. You are an arriero, a transporter. For the first time in your entire life, you get to leave the farm. You walk the winding, treacherous mountain paths down to the port city, guiding hundreds of pounds of dried green coffee destined for the porcelain cups of European aristocrats. You look back at the pickers swatting at flies in the mud, and you feel a surge of pride. You have power. You are travelling. The illusion shatters on your very first journey. The mountain paths are narrow ledges carved into vertical cliffs. One wrong step and a mule goes over the edge. If a mule falls, the master does not care about the animal. He cares about the 400 pounds of premium beans strapped to its back. And guess who pays for that lost coffee? You do. It gets tacked straight onto your family's endless debt. Then come the bandits. desperate men who realize stealing a mule train of coffee is much easier than picking it. You're handed a rusty machete and told to defend the Baron's property with your life. You get a deep scar across your cheek defending a sack of beans that costs more than your entire bloodline. You bleed for the coffee. You kill for the coffee. You drag yourself back to the estate, exhausted, traumatized, smelling of mule sweat and copper. The master pats you on the back. He gives you an extra ration of dried beef. You feel valued. You are pathetic. Level 4. The Overseer. Year 20. You are hardened. You have survived the bugs, the acid vats, the cliffs, and the blades. The master brings you into his large, whitewashed house. He pours you a thimble of cheap rum. He hands you a silver-tipped riding crop and a tall, dark horse. You are the capataz, the overseer. You are at the top of the food chain. You wear leather boots. You ride while the others walk. You scream, and hundreds of men, women, and children scramble to obey. You look down from your saddle at the 7-year-old boys dragging baskets of cherries, and you do not see yourself. You see numbers. You see the daily quota. You sleep in a real bed now. You eat roasted pork on Sundays. You have made it. You are the elite of the working class. But late at night, in the quiet of your private cabin, you do the math. The leather boots you're wearing, you had to buy them from the master's store. The feed for your horse, deducted from your monthly wages. The rum you drink to numb the deep ache in your shattered knees, marked up 300%. You realize the horrifying truth. You're not the master. You're just the largest, most expensive piece of livestock on the farm. Your debt is higher now than it was when you were a child picking cherries. If you slip up, if the harvest falls short, the master will not just fire you. He will strip you of your boots, throw you back into the dirt, and let the men you've been whipping for the last 5 years tear you apart. You are utterly trapped. You are the enforcer of your own prison. You thought you climbed the ladder, but the ladder is just a hamster wheel covered in thorns. The inevitable truth. Year 30. The altitude, the endless damp, and the stress have hollowed you out. Your lungs rattle with a wet, heavy cough that tastes like copper and dirt. You can barely pull yourself up into the saddle. One morning, you cannot get up. The estate bell rings, but your legs refuse to move. The door to your cabin opens and a younger man walks in. He's wearing your spare boots. He's holding your silver-tipped crop. He looks at you with the exact same cold, calculating eyes you used to look at the pickers. You are dragged out of the bed. You are no longer useful. You do not get a pension. You do not get a gold watch or a thank you. You're tossed onto a filthy straw mat in the back of the very sick house you used to ignore. You lie there, staring at the rotting ceiling, listening to the rhythmic mechanical thud of the coffee mills in the distance. The rich, earthy smell of roasting beans drifts through the open window, a luxury you produced your entire life but never actually got to drink. You gave your blood, your skin, and your very soul to the soil, yet ensuring that someone in a Parisian cafe could complain that their morning brew is slightly too bitter. You close your eyes as the coughing takes over for the final time. You climbed from the mud to the saddle, you beat the system, you made it all the way to the top, but it doesn't matter, you were never meant to escape the dirt.